Good Sunday afternoon. I hope all's well with you. I've been making a YTPC faux pas fairly regularly by not telling you what I'm smoking and what I'm smoking it in. So, I'll try to be better at that. Right now, I'm smoking. This is the first time I've actually smoked this. I got some bulk blends, and this is one of them. Lavish English from Sutliff, and I'm smoking it in a chunky Lavat custom built. And it's good. I really like it. It reminds me of when I was a kid growing up in Southern Oregon. We'd drive up to Eugene to go to the mall sometimes, the Valley River Mall. And there was a store there. We went there because they had lots of hats, lots of cool hats. But it was also a pipe tobacco store. And they probably had other things there, I don't know, but that's what I remember. And it had, of course, this smell from the pipe tobacco. And the smell of this tobacco just immediately took me back to that store. I don't even remember the name of the store. But they had like bowler hats and tweed hats and that kind of thing there. It wasn't a big store. But anyway, this is pretty good. It's Lavish English. So, I've been trying to catch up on some VRs, and this one's for Padre Piper's 4-year anniversary. And he asked us what would be one piece of advice we'd give a new pipe smoker. And I thought about if there's a few things I recommend, but I think probably the biggest thing I've learned over the years of pipe smoking is never to give up on a tobacco. Sometimes you'll hear people say, "Oh, I tried whatever, Prince Albert, and I hated it." Or, "I just don't like aromatics." But I've found there's definitely been times where I've smoked Prince Albert and it just hasn't done much for me. But there's been times where I've loaded a bowl, gone out, sat on the porch, and man, I couldn't have asked for anything better. It was just hit the spot, the nuttiness. It really was what I was looking for. And for whatever reason, that hit the spot. And then there's been times where a tobacco that I really enjoyed, I don't know. Not that I've gotten tired of it, I wouldn't say that, but I just wanted to have something else, so I'd move on to something else, and I found that my tastes shift fairly often, and some of that's based on this time of the year. Some of that's just based on just an ever-shifting palate, I guess. I don't know, but I guess my biggest advice would be just don't write off a tobacco because you tried it and you didn't like it. Give it a chance. Give it some time. If you don't like it, jar it up, put it on a shelf, come back to it in a couple months, maybe a year, and see if that makes a difference. But you certainly don't have to keep trying something. If you don't like it, you don't have to keep smoking it. But don't toss it out or don't get rid of it. Give yourself a chance to come back to it and see if it makes a difference. Because I think there's a lot of tobaccos that there's some tobaccos that just right away you like them. But there's an aspect to pipe smoking that I think is an acquired taste that's kind of similar to when you first start drinking coffee or even beer or wine. You might not really care for the taste. But over time, like coffee, you might need to load that up with sugar and cream to drink it down. But at some point, maybe this is different for everybody, but at some point, you have a cup of black coffee, and man, the taste of the coffee just really comes through, and you can even maybe taste some different subtle side notes and that kind of thing. Same with wine. I think it's that way with tobacco too. And there's certainly tobaccos that for a lot of people are more of an acquired taste. So give yourself time to develop some of those tastes. And for me, like right now, and this is common, you hear a lot of people really rave about haunted bookshop. I've got some haunted bookshop, and I hate to say that I don't care for it, but it's really I tried it again last week. It just didn't do it for me. Reading the description of it, you'd think I would have thought it would have been right up my alley, but for whatever reason, it's just not. And I think it's because, and I'm not sure the ratios of tobaccos, but I think it's got more of a Perique mix into it, and the tobaccos I like tobaccos that have Perique, but they're more of just I don't know, maybe a sprinkling, so to speak, into the mixture. So, but I'm given that time, and I'm also trying to find tobaccos that have a similar mixture but not quite the same, and see if that helps me to develop a taste. And you know, it's not the end of the world if I never just like haunted bookshop, but it's certainly one that I don't want to give up on, and just kind of see, maybe it takes me a couple years to like it, but that's just a personal example for me, where it's just not one that I care for right now, but I'm not throwing it out the window and saying that's just not, I'm never gonna like that, I don't even want it. So that's my piece of advice. Congratulations, Padre, on 4 years. You put out some great videos, great content. They're always a bright spot in my day when I get to watch one of your videos. So 4 years is quite the milestone, and congratulations. You all take care. Have a good Sunday.